Thank you so much, Pearl, for honoring this invitation. Thanks for agreeing to come and share your story. So, this channel is basically about legacy storytelling. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
to be able to share with our viewers on what legacy really means and how life insurance actually speaks to that, and then also to be able to share with people that it is real. You know that when you make plans, it's actually real. Can you share your story as to how you journeyed into life insurance?
Mm.
What prompted you? What was the thing for you that got you kind of hooked into this industry?
Okay. Thank you so much, Adiola, for having me in this interview. So I'm happy to share my journey. So I moved to Canada around 2015, so about 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, with my whole family. And I've always been in the corporate world, doing what I do best, and mostly that is related to helping people find the right opportunities for them. And so when I came to Canada, I was looking for ways of how to become an entrepreneur because I was already also an entrepreneur back home. Nevertheless, of course, I was new. I was like, okay, how do we do this here, right? So with new rules, new things, and just new environment for me. Like how can an immigrant like me succeed in this venture? So thankfully, my brother and my sister-in-law helped me navigate through that because they actually was in the industry for more than, I believe at that time, around more than 5 years already. So they said, you know what, if you're looking to be an entrepreneur again, maybe not in the same industry as what you've been doing back home, but this is, something more impactful because it's not just about you making money, but it's also adding value to others. So they invited me to a presentation, and I immediately saw the value. If I help people find the right opportunities, why not help people find security and also deliver to their family even when they're not here anymore? So I was like a month in Canada at that point, and I just said, yes, you know what? Let's try. I mean, what have I got to lose? Nothing. Everything I have got to gain. I learned new things. I got educated about financial security here in Canada because those are the things that they don't teach you in school, and also they don't teach you when you try to, make a big move like moving into another country. So when I saw the presentation, and I was very interested, I immediately enrolled myself into a course, and I believe within a month I was able to complete the course. But at that point, 2015, things were a bit slow, so I did not get to fully practice until 7 months later. That's how long it was before, but definitely totally different for today, for today's time, right? So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That's my journey.
yeah, interesting. Thank you for that. Thank you. And since you've been doing this, what has stand out for you in your, I mean, in this experience of helping people?
Mhm.
What did
Mhm.
you find that really like stood out for you? I mean, having done this over the years.
Yeah. Well, in the past 10 years, what really stood out for me, it's it's not just, I'm not saying that the how do I the way we are compensated does not matter. It does. It makes a lot of difference, because it makes a difference in my life, in my family's life, in my daily choices. So the financial considerations, definitely, they were there first. In fact, maybe I wouldn't be ashamed to say initially that what attracted to me. It's like, wow, if I can be a business owner and I could earn money by helping people, that would be great. So that was the first consideration. But later on, as I progressed in my career, you get more professional maturity as to what this profession is all about. You become drawn into not just what it can give to you, but what you can actually give back. So I believe that it's not always about being a beneficiary, but also a contributor. So over the years, I have learned that wow, this is more than just what I'm getting. It's what I'm also contributing and what's helping me to become the person I am. It definitely has, shaped a lot of my character because of the things that we do day in and day out. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes you all look at the outcome at first because that's what will address what our current needs are, right? And that's being human. You know, we have needs and those needs have to be addressed. But later on, as I progress, as I mature in this industry, I become to see, the habits that I have been able to form for myself as a professional and even as a person, as a mom and a business owner. It is also the ability to just be open to learn and learning from others and sharing what you learn and applying what you learn. So those things, what attracted me to the business is more than initially it is what it can do for me. Then eventually it is what I'm getting in terms of personal and professional development. And then later on, it is the value to the community and the things that have helped me deliver to my community and the value that I can bring. Sorry for that long answer.
No, 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 no. I mean, that's pretty fine. That's pretty explicit because it actually kind of like help to balance, why we are doing this. So, and what is actually possible to say that it is possible to actually be helping and yet you are also being rewarded, for it. So
Correct.
it's actually
It's true.
perfectly well. So the part that I wanted to also, I want you to just kind of like throw a little more light on is that part about helping people because um, from the little time that I have started this journey and I've started like conversations around legacy, financial planning, life insurance,
Mhm.
I kind of see the way that people receive it, and it's more like they perceive it like it's just for the advisor. It's just the advisor gaining. And it's just a few percentage of people that actually see that it is not about that advisor or that agent, it's about themselves. So, from your experience, what would you like to say about, I mean, to that? Because, it just feels like, oh, that's just the thing. When people say, oh, it's about others, no, they're making money. Because, I mean, I actually shared with a colleague, and she was saying she's in a group where all they talk about is agents and how agents are making money off them. And then they shift their attention more from what it can benefit, I mean, what gain it can be for the people. Rather, they focus on what the agent stands to gain. So, can you just say something
Right.
about that?
Well, first I'd like to acknowledge that thought because it is true. It is also a business, right? When you buy something, you buy it from an individual, you get that service or you get that product. So that's just how commercial is. There's an exchange of product in exchange of money, right? So that is not wrong, right? But to actually make it as a purpose for you to do this, that's when I would really put my hand up and say, not everybody does it that way. First, we this is a very highly regulated industry, right? So agents who are in front of their clients, they have a license that they have gained. They have education that they have completed based on what is required to be able to get that license. They have a responsibility to the customers in the spirit of fair treatment of customers, and that has always to be on top of mind. Now, I do get that sometimes clients would say, "Oh, you're just making money out of me." Right? Well, the reality is, yes, that is true. We are making money, but we are not just here to just make money, right? The reality is that, that family we are talking to every day, when something happened to the main income earner, whether they take the policy or not from us, that family will be left behind either with a legacy or without a legacy. That family will be able to have their kids continue their education or not. That mom will either have the dignity to live every day and be able to provide to their family, make sure there's food on the table, and continue their life, right? Whether they buy it from us or not, that is possible. That is a high possibility, and that can also happen anytime. And that's the thing. We don't know when that time will happen. So my message to them is that yeah, I will be making money because I have a license and I am allowed to be compensated for this sale when you buy this, right? But at the same time, you are also getting the service. Your family will get peace of mind when I walk away, when you sign that policy, and that your family will continue to live with dignity when something happens to you and when that time comes.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Is there anything you want to add to this?
Honestly, for me, thank you for the opportunity to be here and having this conversation as well, with the privilege of sharing the stage with, somebody like Pearl. One cannot be grateful enough because the experience of value is in what people benefit. And trust me, at the end of the day, from the experiences I've seen, honestly, the clients, the people, the family who are secured are the most beneficial of this. Like, they benefit the most. Because,
Exactly.
trust me, guys, if something happens to any individual, their family is going to bear 100% of that risk. Whereas, if there are a group of 100 people in every year, one person your age is going to be called home by their creator. And when that happens, the insurance company have 99 left who are still contributing to the funds. And from that, they will take care of the one person who is gone. But if you choose the other way, your family will bear the brunt 100%. And that ain't no fun.
Thank
That's the
you.
blank truth.
Thank you. Thank you. And now that we are here, I want Pearl. Um, I want you to. I'm giving you the next few minutes to just share this experience. Um, it's true life story. It's a difficult one because, of course, when you lose a loved one, or in your case now, you lost a client, and all the difficulties that come around it and all of that. We are now at that point where I want you to share your story regarding this client. How did you meet this client? What happened before um, he or she signed up? And then what happened? And then after the passing on, what happened? Please,
Okay.
back to you, Phil.
Thanks, Adiola. Okay, so this client was actually a referral of a long-term client. It's a brother of a long-term client, and this client has chosen to work in the aviation industry. So, a big industry, but also we know that it is high risk, understandably, and also high earning, right? So this client of mine has chosen to work in that industry, and he was already preparing to, take off his career, and then they signed up as couple, right? So mom and dad, and then later on when they had their kids, they're like, okay, Pearl, because we conduct annual policy review, we talk about what changes in their life was, and then eventually he said, oh, now we have a daughter, so that's great. And because this family truly understand the importance of protection and security. So what happened was that this family had purchased a policy for their young child. Okay, so I would say purchase, because the reality is life insurance is still a product that is sold to clients, because not every day, people wake up and say, oh, I want to buy life insurance today. Right? So they did say, okay, we want to get coverage, so for our kid. And this kid, this child of them, actually was someone they have waited for many, many years. And they were very happy when the mom became finally pregnant and when they delivered the baby. So I was very happy for them too. And so the first thing that they did was to approach me and say, we want to protect our baby. And normally, it's not a usual thing to think about. Like, why would a kid need life insurance? So I asked them, what made you decide to purchase life insurance for your baby? And their answer is that we've waited for this baby for so many years. You want to protect his life. Going forward, you want to ensure that they are protected, so that later on, when they have their family of their own, they will be protected too. And the good thing about this couple was that it's more than the protection too. They are like, we want to use this policy because we want to save up. Definitely, we have RESP for this kid. They also took it from me, the educational savings plan, and then they have the savings for their kid, and they have life insurance that will be able to accumulate cash values for their kid while they were young. So I'm like, that is really great. And so the mindset of the parents were right the first time. It is protecting what is most important to them, regardless of age, right? Because most people, we just say, oh, if you're not earning income, then there is no reason for you to buy life insurance, right? There are many uses of life insurance, and definitely we are not expecting our kids to, go before us. But as what Ike has mentioned earlier, we never know. We don't know until when our time is up. We don't know when we will be called, right? So if it's okay to continue on, Adiola, what happened there was that I was in Quebec, and the dad texted me and said, hey, I wanted to let you know that our dear daughter passed away last night. And that was very, very devastating. And that was what? 18 months onto the policy. Imagine, just 18 months. So it has not passed the 2-year contestability period. So definitely, I was not worried, because I know I did my job, and also everything was properly disclosed to me. But definitely at that point, my main concern is, how is this family doing? How is the mom doing? How is the dad doing? So more than being a life insurance advisor, we're also part of that journey. So I of course call them and made sure that they were okay, though they're not really okay. But offering to do more than delivering a policy, just being there, listening to them, and them knowing that I am here. I will work through this stage with them, because we have something in place. But definitely that was not the focus of the parents at that point. They're like, we just want to make sure the policy is okay. I'm like, don't worry about it. You have to do what you have to do at this point. And so we have completed the documents later on, after the funeral has passed. So the daughter passed away for a disease that they call mitochondrial disease. Was triggered by something. She was perfectly fine playing at the playground, and then when they came home, she was just vomiting and was unwell. So from then on, after a few hours, she passed. So it was just in the afternoon the next day. She did pass. So very, very devastating time for the family. But then I had to let them know I will be here throughout the process. So it was my first claim, and there is a saying in the life insurance industry: until you handed that check over to the family, you can't really say you're a genuine life insurance agent. But to me, handing that check over means more than just the dollars that are in it. So Months passed, we have submitted all the documentations, but unfortunately, again, this was within the incontestability period, and my job is to make sure that I communicate very well to the families where it is, what's happening and on my end. And thankfully, our partners commit to their promise, right? As long as we have done our job as life insurance agent, we have complete documentation, we have guided our clients to complete the forms and all that, the administrative part of it, they were able to deliver. So at that point, when I said that the claim will be, transferred to the bank account of my client, despite, the number of months it took because of the investigations that took place, they were very grateful because they knew that when their kid has passed, they also have another kid too. They still have another kid to look after. I have not dealt with grief for a very long time now, but I'm sure it is different for everyone. So I did respect their time, but I did tell them that with this money that you have from the life insurance policy, you have more freedom to choose on when you can come back to work and when you can, fully grieve. And that's exactly the words that came out from their mouths. It's like, this will allow us to, rethink of what we want in life because our needs are still met. We don't have to worry about the mortgage. We don't have to worry about some liabilities we have to pay monthly because this will cover for it all, right? We have a kid to look after, and we also have our emotions, our souls that needed to heal because we are parents.
Yeah.
And that was the most important gift to give to them as grieving parents is the time, not to rush them to come to work because mortgage is due next month.
Yeah.
It allowed for them time to really think of what they wanted to do and to grieve and celebrate the life of their kid.
Thank you so much, Belle. Thank you so much. That is really so impactful. It's so touching, and um, as you shared the story, what came to my mind was to ask, um, now on the flip side of what legacy is, because a lot of the time, maybe we think legacy is usually, it has to, usually be from the older person
Mm-hmm.
to the younger person. In this experience, what will you, because really nobody prays for the death of a child, but
No,
the truth
no.
also is we do not have control over these things. But then when you have something that helps to be able to move on from there, so um, what will you say to that defining legacy, especially with respect to this story?
Well, I think legacy sometimes is attached to money, right? It's the number of dollars that will be passed on to the next generation. When we talk about wealth, it's just attached to money, right? But the reality is in this case, in this story, in this real life situation, the legacy was that the mom and the dad were there, okay, for their other kid, right, at the time that they would have been devastated. The legacy here is the time that they were able to pass on to their other kid, right, and even to themselves, the time that they were able to give to themselves to go through life. The real legacy here is the quality of life that they have shown to their next kid, the choices that they have shown they're passing on to the other kid, showing what's really important in life is the people around us. The life that we all dream of is not just about money, but it's more about the time and the choices that we can make. And so I think here it is the character, truly the character that they have shown to their other kid, that as parents, right, we want to pass on. It's not just always about money, but the values, the character, the lessons that we have learned. And I think for this couple, they did mention to me, you know The child may be young today. The other child that was left behind may be young today, but in the future, they will know. They will know what truly happened, and they were passed on the true character of their parents, and that is knowing what to value in life.
Yeah, yeah,
It's true.
thank you. Thank you.
That's
That's so
absolutely
powerful.
that's absolutely true. You know, you may not have thought about this until you sit in that space,
Yes,
and that's the truth.
yes,
That that element of identity, that character you're talking about, that's what
Mhm.
keeps the family going for years.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
sharing, Pearl.
yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, this just exposes and redefine what the true meaning of legacy, can be, and
Yeah.
it can be unique to everyone. So, and maybe which just leads me to the next question, which would have been, if this family did not have this insurance in place, can you give like a hint of what could have been if they did not have this?
Well, Adio, we couldn't really tell for things that we don't foresee nor expect. But nevertheless, what I know for this family, at least, if they did not have this in place, then they would have been rushed. Number one, they would have been rushed to come to work. They
Yeah.
would have been they would have been worried how to pay their mortgage.
Yeah.
They would have been they would have been strained for the pressure that they have to face, and these are matters that cannot be accounted for in terms of dollars, right? It could be their mental health, it could be their relationships, it could be how they are going to move forward from their life, and how are they going to face the future together. Maybe that future is not there anymore. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe the kid that they have would grow up thinking, why did I not matter at this time? Why was only my other sibling who passed away, right?
Yeah,
So there's so
Yeah.
many buts
It's
and
true.
ifs, but the reality is just, I think what could have happened if this policy was not placed is just a lot of time being consumed on things that did not matter really in
Yeah.
life.
It's true.
There could have been relationships that are strained, and ultimately there could be an individual, blaming themselves because they had not prepared for this. So we don't want that. We want families to continue to live with love, with peace, with dignity, and I don't think any amount of money could match that.
That's true.
that's very true. That's very true. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you. And just as we're rounding off, um, for me, and from this story, what this just tells me is having that policy in place and what that policy actually delivers actually helped the family to be able to truly, truly mourn and, you know, cherish the memories of that child that passed. And also, like you said, being able to actually give themselves time to heal, give the other children time to be able to absorb what happened, and then also be
Mm-hmm.
able to um, balance out and move on, And even though we are saying that, yes, it's not so much about the money, but it counts because what it did was it helped them to be able to give what was necessary, what was much more impactful time, to heal, to move on, and to be able to plan ahead. Thank you so much for this very, very touching story and inspiring and also eye-opening. Okay, now just your last words, Pearl, to people, to our listeners. What will you wish for everyone to understand about life insurance before it's too late?
Here my final words for those who are still thinking about life insurance, regardless if it's for someone earning, someone not earning, someone old, someone young, is that their life is precious. Life should be protected. Life in any means should not be taken for granted. But one thing that many people are missing out is that while the internet has so many information about life insurance, I would encourage you to talk to the person that you trust who is a life insurance agent and just ask questions. There's nothing wrong about asking, about exploring. Do your part of why life insurance could change your life or your family's life in the future. Imagine a life without it if something happens to you or to your loved ones, and just really explore your options. The most common thing we hear is that life insurance is so expensive. Life insurance is an expense. Life insurance does not really matter at this time because we need something else, or we have other needs to attend to. But life insurance could be the answer for when you're unable to provide, for when we're not here, and for when our family would need it the most. So it's not expensive at all if you start early, but it could be the most expensive thing if you don't have it and if you let past time, sorry, time pass. So just ask questions, talk to a licensed insurance agent whom you trust, seek for options. Whether you say yes or no now, it doesn't really matter, but you need to ask questions and know what your options are. Thanks, Adiola.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pearl. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming to share the story and for our listeners to be able to learn. It's actually been a beautiful session. And so, as we round off, Ike, do you have any final thing to say just before we finally round up?
Well, I mean, I just want to also thank Pearl for this, for taking the time to share this really heart touching and, you know, absolutely fantastic job that she's been doing. And for every other person who is also queuing behind her and doing the same kind of, rendering the same kind of services. Honestly, we can't be grateful enough to have been elected into this missionary journey. And we hope that everyone gets to learn and become valuable, and more blessings to all. Thank you for inviting me as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ike. Thank you, Pearl. And so, to our listeners, I believe this has also been a valuable time and a valuable takeaway for you. So, if you have questions, if you want to meet with a licensed advisor, I am available. My name is Adiola Tobi again, and this is Storytelling with Adiola Tobi. And you can always link up with me. The link is just right below. And to my superiors here, thank you so much, Gail. Thanks, Ike. And we'll catch up again. Bye bye,
Thank,
everyone.
That's good. Take
thank you.
care.
Okay, bye bye.